guess the scammers aren't really in today. His truck's gone. Oh well. So what actually happened with Swedish Auto Service, you may ask? Well, I started service with Goldie 850 shortly after Whitney 850. After I bought Whitney, which I'm driving right now, rather smoothly and quietly, if you'll note, around July of last year, and garaged it. And sort of was upkeeping on little things here and there, but I didn't have a whole lot of money to really deal with. And so I was spending a lot of time just kind of like fixing things that that was already like within my range. Hello, motorcycle. And I shortly then established a service history at Swedish Auto Service over here on North Lamar in Austin. And at first I wasn't so sure. They didn't have really great reviews to start off with, and I had sort of like some reservations concerning some of their business practices. They didn't really give quotes like literally every other auto shop that I've heard of. They couldn't give me direct numbers on literally anything that they did, which struck me as odd, but they brushed this off as they were a, quote, specialty service and a, quote, specialty shop that provided, quote, specialty service. And so the whole added up at the end thing is just sort of like the way that they explained it to me was that, oh, the people that bring their car here, don't think that money is an object, is the way that it was spun to be by the service tech. Okay? Fine. You're still an auto shop, and you still only have to do what I tell you to do to my car. Only what I'm willing to pay for. It only makes sense. That's how you run a business. That's how you run an auto shop. So I went ahead and brought my business back again about 5 days after I brought it for the initial inspection. Was told that I had a couple of miggling things issues with the suspension that I would like fixed. However, there was a bunch of safety concerns that they immediately had to take care of. They were concerned about the rear main seal leaking oil, which I didn't really notice it leaking all too much oil, but apparently it was. I keep it in the garage, so I'd think that if it was leaking oil tremendously, I would have noticed it, but it is a 90s Volvo. It's gonna leak some oil, right? So they recommended me a rear main seal. That's an engine teardown. Fine, it's gonna be expensive. I don't freaking care. They then, while they had the engine apart, recommended me a brand new clutch install, which I knew that I did not need because the previous owner had proof and shown me that he had just replaced that clutch. But again, previous owner half-assed a couple of other things. I was kind of not willing to discount the previous owner's service at this point, and I was just like, fine, throw a new clutch in it. It'll save me the service of having to get the engine torn down later, right? Fast forward a couple of months because I can't necessarily afford to get this thing worked on every couple of months, which to them seems like a very short time in between visits, because understand, I have a course of history with this one shop that spans a year and 4 separate visits, 5 different charges. I have all the papers to back all of this up, by the way. And so finally I was fed up with being lied to, with being scammed, with being told that there was things wrong with my car that weren't, with getting altering opinions from other mechanics, and also with the similar experiences that other owners in the area have had with the owners of this particular shop. Specifically, a friend of mine who is also another local Saab owner said that he had a very similar experience with being treated like complete garbage when going to this particular shop and being told several things about his car that he had a very intimate nature with that just simply were not true. And so you can tell that these guys have made a business out of outright lying to their customers about what is wrong with their car in order to get the most money out of a singular job. And so, as a result of all of this, my friend encouraged me to contact somebody, maybe the Better Businesses Bureau, and I said, no, I'll do one better. I will leave a review on Google Maps. Oh, bump. See, no crashing, no knocking, nice acceleration. See, we're good and happy. I brought it to a different guy. I'm not saying who. Don't want to put them in jeopardy in case this Swedish auto place decides to take their revenge, because after I left that 1-star review, very explanatory as it was, this owner recognized the car from the icon that I used in the Google review and proceeded to call me on my personal cell phone with information from the service history that I had left behind, which is all out of date, by the way, because it's all over a year long. But they somehow seem to think that being back to the same shop multiple times in a year is not completely abnormal for them. And also, it's not completely abnormal to call customers that have made it clear that they have no intention of bringing their business back to you. Because that's what you do when you leave a review like mine, okay? That's me making it clear that I have no intention of bringing my automobile back to your place of business to be serviced or any of that business. And for you to call me to harass me and be like, hey buddy, I noticed this review that you left here, and I just wanted you to explain a couple of things in it. Number one, I don't owe you any money, so why are you calling me? Number two, I don't owe you an explanation. I already explained myself in the review, okay? I didn't call your house. I didn't threaten you and your family. I did not threaten your business. I didn't say I was gonna come put a brick through your window. I explained exactly what happened as it happened, and you know that I have evidence to back this up, and so you decided to call me and threaten me and try to remind me that, you have service history here. I know where you live. Is actually illegal in the state of Texas. And so that part where you told me to go ahead, call the cops, see if I care, well, I did. And you now have a police report filed against you in regards to this harassment. So, yeah. So, good job running your business, I guess. Either ways, my car works fine, and you don't know where I actually live, so I hope that other people can glean from this experience some sort of lesson to be had about so-called specialty auto shops that specialize in only like really 2 different types of cars, and yet really still can't keep their shit together, can't keep their techs from scratching and destroying stuff in your garage, can't really keep your affairs straight with your customer base, and you can't keep your reviews up on Google. It's just garbage. It's just garbage. Either way, Whitney 850. Driving quite happily, by the way. Out of here.